What is up, everybody? Welcome to today's video. Today I'm excited to bring you my first deck tech video, which I've been sort of waiting to do. And I'm going to be doing it with my favorite deck in Constructed right now, which is the blue-green go wide deck, though it is my sort of take on it. The base of my list I got from Mega Mogwai's video. He also did a deck tech and gameplay of blue-green go wide. And I love the deck. Like, I fell in love immediately with the concept. I like it a lot more than the blue-green incarnation of Salamene combo deck because I think it's just a little bit more consistent and does its job just in a more linear fashion, whereas the Salamene combo deck sort of relies on a bunch of extraneous pieces and takes like 30 minutes to draw all your cards, and bleh, no thanks. So I'm going to just briefly go over some of the cards we see in like every blue-green go wide deck, because I really want to get into depth about my own tech choices, because I've teched my deck against the black-red hero killer archetype, which is the most represented deck in Constructed right now. And I think this has a favorable matchup. In general, Constructed has not been explored at all. A lot of people are already saying that it's super stale. They're saying that the format's been solved and it's boring and it's draw dependent and blah blah blah. I think those people haven't done enough exploring, or maybe not even explored at all, honestly, because I think the format's really exciting. It's really fun for me to play. After doing like 40 drafts already, I'm like, okay, we got to do something else. And for me, Constructed is definitely the solution to that. So let me get into the cards. So I'll start with the basics, like I said. So Stars Align, we just ramp into stuff a little bit faster. Lets us get to an Emissary of the Quorum faster if we need to. I've never had to do this, but if we need to, we get to an Annihilation a couple turns earlier, but that's not going to happen most likely. Mist of Avernus just buffs our whole board every round, pretty strong. Aghanim Sanctum lets us double up on our mana usage by refreshing it every round. Dimensional Portal just fills up the board, sometimes absorbs damage, sometimes pushes damage based off the matchup. Foresight would just draw some cards. Duh. Salamenia's Favor, just a standard ramp card, gives us a little bit more mana a little bit earlier. Annihilation, probably the most important card that's not within sort of the combo nature of the deck, which is blue's basically just a get out of jail free card. Essentially, if we play with initiative correctly, we can throw a blue hero that's being deployed onto a land that's about to lose, and if we have initiative, just instant annihilation. Destroy everything, get a bunch of gold, opponent doesn't get a lot of gold, and then we have like 2 rounds before those heroes are going to be deploying again for our opponent, so super good. And then Emissary of the Quorum just allows us, like, once we've gone wide, we just get to push so much damage. Giving +2 attack and +2 health to everything each round is so strong. Absolutely necessary. You see I have 2. We'll get into that in a second. But yeah, so those are like the standard cards that those cards shouldn't come as to a surprise. Come as a surprise to anyone. Because they're in every blue-green list, whether it's the combo deck or the go-wide version or whatever. So I want to go into the changes that I made because I'm really excited about them, and I think that they're pretty good. So first of all, if you guys are familiar with the meta or with the deck at all, you'll see that we have one hero here that is not normal, and that hero is Omni Knight. So normally, Treant Protector is in the slot where Omni Knight is. He gives us the signature creep Roseleaf Druid that lets us ramp a little bit earlier. He gives everything, like his neighbors, +2 armor. A really strong card, and it's in the deck for a reason. But one of the main problems is that because we are forced to flop a green hero, like right in the beginning in one of the first 3 lanes, when we're going against red-black hero killer, oftentimes the opponent's Phantom Assassin can match up against our Treant Protector, and then it dies instantly. And then we don't have green mana on that lane for mana 4, because we're not about to deploy our Drow Ranger onto that same lane that Phantom Assassin just was that killed our other green hero, because it will just kill Drow too. So I have Omni Knight in here for 2 reasons. First of all, he has 12 health. Let's get him up. Yeah. He has 12 health. 12 health. 12 health. How many times can I say it? So he doesn't auto die to Phantom Assassin. He trades over 2 rounds with Phantom Assassin, which is super nice. Get that annoying hero off the board. And then on top of that, his signature card, bloop, All Seeing One's Favor. Modifies a green hero with allies of +2 regeneration. So just generally speaking, our board is way stickier. So it can absorb way more damage, can destroy more things, like our creeps could kill our opponent's creeps, etc., etc. So in general, I think I like him because he just makes the board stickier. He himself doesn't die as quickly. His active ability even heals something for 3, which isn't always super relevant, but it's pretty good. It just gives us that extra insurance and reassurance that we're going to have a green hero after the first flop. You know what I mean? So I think that that's very important. I've been loving him so far, and yeah, I think that's probably like the biggest difference to the deck, but there are still plenty more that we're going to go into. So we're running 3 copies of Unearthed Secrets versus 2 copies of Foresight. This isn't a huge difference, but I think I like the consistency of having to, or getting to play down our draw spells, or in this case, draw improvements, and then just not have to waste mana on it anymore. One of the main problems that I ran into with running like 3 Foresight, maybe 1 or 2 Arcane Assault or whatever, was that we never had a blue hero just free to cast a draw spell. We were usually trying to advance our combo or push a lane, and then we just have all these draw spells sort of stuck in our hand because our heroes keep dying. I mean, that's what the hero killer archetype does. So I like Unearthed Secrets because we get to just put it down. Anytime we take a little bit of damage, even just 1 creep, we get a draw card. We can disperse them amongst the multiple lanes. We can put them on the same lane, and then they'll all trigger individually. So in general, I think I like the card way more than I like playing a bunch of draw spells that are in blue, because our blue heroes just end up dying because they get targeted by coup de grace, gank, hipfire, pick off, I mean, black and red has like 13 removal spells, right? So our heroes never stick, basically, so that's why I like the Unearthed Secrets so much. Adding some of these green cards has made our color skew pretty bad for how many heroes we have. Our Omni Knight and Drow Ranger have to do a lot of carrying. But so far, I haven't experienced too many problems. It could get tweaked again. This is only my first deck tech, and, you know, we may do Blue-Green Go Wide version 3 or something like that, where we've changed up the colors and we've changed up the, you know, the green card to blue card count ratio and whatnot. Anyway, the next thing we have is Cheating Death. Now, this isn't necessarily different. A lot of Blue-Green Go Wide decks use Cheating Death. I don't know necessarily how many copies they run, but I've really been digging 2. I think originally the list only had 1, and I was kind of like, I don't know about that. So I've really been enjoying 2. I think that's probably like the most hated card in Artifact, just because it's a literal coin flip to keep all of your stuff alive or not. And I understand that, but trust me when I say that when Red-Black Hero Killer is just killing your hero over and over and over and over and over again, you finally get to land that green hero in the Cheating Death lane, and then it just keeps sticking. You're like, oh, finally, like, you have a chance to cast cards. You know, you can play the game, finally, you know? So I've been digging 2. I think it could go down back again to 1. Some people run 3, and I think that's too many, and I just don't know what you cut, really, at that point. But I've been digging 2, and I don't expect that number to change very soon, but, you know, we'll see. I still have to play more. I'm fairly experienced with the deck at this point, but, you know, it could change. You know, I'm open to change. Then one of the last non-item changes is that we run 2 Emissary of the Quorum instead of 3. Again, doesn't necessarily seem like a huge change, but I think what that is indicating for me is that we will get to Emissary of the Quorum eventually. The first thing that we have to be able to do is establish a board presence against Red-Black Hero Killer and against other archetypes with Cheating Death or with just spawning a bunch of, you know, zombie dogs, right? So Emissary of the Quorum will happen eventually. We will draw it eventually, most of the time, right? And usually when we're playing Emissary, I feel like I'm not going, oh, if I don't have an Emissary, I don't win. It's like, oh, if I can't establish a board, I'm not going to win regardless. And when I have 3 copies of Emissary of the Quorum, I kind of feel like, I don't know, it feels really clunky to have all of those 8 drops in your hand, and they're useless. I mean, not completely useless, but when you just have 2 heroes and all of your creeps keep dying, it's like this Emissary could be, you know, another Cheating Death, or it could be another draw spell or something. So that's why we're only running 2 instead of 3. So the last changes that I think are like sort of my changes is that we have these 3 Revtail Signet Rings. And I think it's pretty obvious why we have these in. when we're teching our deck against Black-Red Hero Killer. Specifically, the line of text that says equipped hero has -3 bounty. Some of you don't really know how bounty works. That's what some people have said in my chat. So let me explain real quickly that every hero has 5 bounty, which means that when you kill a hero, your opponent, or you, if you're killing your opponent's heroes, get 5 gold. And that's part of how the Black-Red Hero Killer archetype thrives, is it gets a lot of gold early, they get to buy out their item shop pretty quickly, and then they have these powerful items like Horn of the Alpha, Vesture of the Tyrant, and all of their Stonehull cloaks and everything just already equipped to their heroes before you've made like any gold. So Revtel Signet Ring just basically means that when you equip it to a hero, not only do they get a health buff, which is obvious for survival, but also they have only 2 gold provided to their opponent when they actually end up killing your hero, so that slows them down quite a bit. You can't buy anything with 2 gold. It takes 2 hero kills if they both have Signet Rings on to buy a Traveler's Cloak, you know, which no Black-Red Hero Killer archetype runs a Traveler's Cloak anyway. So I think the item's been really good. It's also really cheap. I think some blue-green decks run the Traveler's Cloak instead because it's so cheap. And I've thought about it myself, but I think that spending the extra gold to finally get the -3 bounty so that you can slow down the buying power of the Hero Killer archetype is so far proven to be really strong. Then other than that, I think our item deck is, generally speaking, pretty normal. So yeah, that's my iteration of the blue-green go wide deck. I've been really enjoying playing it in gauntlets. I've been really enjoying playtesting it against people who are playing the Hero Killer archetype. And in general, I think that the deck is really strong. I don't see a lot of people playing it yet. And again, I think it's because Constructed is still sort of a mystery. You know, people aren't really trying to figure it out right now. So I'm here to figure it out for you guys. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. So I hope you enjoyed the deck tech. Hopefully the next one's a little bit more smooth and a little bit more, maybe not planned out, but a little bit more natural, a little bit more calm, something like that. But I'm excited to have brought you my first one, and then there will be a lot more deck techs in the future because I've been brewing. I play the game a lot. So thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys subscribe if you want more content. Leave a comment in the video if you think I skipped over something, or if I should add a different card to the deck, or if you have other ideas. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next one.